accomplish. By the time he rode the Emperor, Murphy had ascended to not just national but international fame. The press most often compared him to Jimmy McLaughlin in professional status, but in style he was usually paired with Fred Archer, one of the greatest jockeys in the history of British racing. Often he got shorthanded as the Colored Archer or the Black Archer. In 1887, the Chicago Tribune acknowledged the validity of the comparison. Both men liked to ride a waiting race and often won in a close finish. But Murphy rode a more diverse book of mounts to a similar level of success, which argued sharper skill. Why not call Archer the White Murphy? Murphy was not Archer's imitator, but his American equivalent. Had not Pierre Lorillard himself supposedly offered him a hefty salary once? Lorillard was the arbiter of the comparison because he was Archer's most famous American employer. In 1881, the tobacco scion had fulfilled the dream of generations of American racing men when he sent his colt Iroquois to England to train for the Epsom Derby, first run in 1780, the model and namesake of every derby in the world. Archer had already won the Derby twice, and with him in the saddle, the American upstart went off second favorite at 11-2. Epsom, which first held races in the 17th century, is a U-shaped turf course rather than an American-style dirt oval, and the Derby begins with an uphill run, followed by a left-handed bend going back down toward the final half-mile. That bend sharpens into the famous Tottenham Corner, an acute downhill turn that requires a beautifully balanced athlete, a horse that can corner on a slope with the precision and power of a sports car. Archer kept Iroquois tight to the rail around it, and the horse showed his class as he stormed down the hill, cruising past the leader to win by a neck. The news got to New York around 11 in the morning. At Jerome Park, where it was race day, it was shouted through the barns. On Wall Street, the stock exchange closed. Reporters mobbed Pierre Lorillard's house. He wasn't at home. He was at the Union Club with friends, celebrating the wedding of Leonard Jerome's daughter Clara the next day. When the ticker at the club announced the result, the groom scolded Lorillard. Why on earth wasn't he at Epsom? Archer's fame had transcended the racetrack in England. "Archer's up," said Londoners, when they meant that they could take care of something easily. But fans on both sides of the Atlantic knew that ease came at a price. Both Archer and Murphy were meant to weigh almost 150 pounds and had to weigh under 120 to do their jobs. Archer, like Murphy, usually sweat off 25 or 30 pounds that he put on in the off-season, and he regularly drank a purgative mixture concocted especially for him. A friend once swallowed a tablespoon of it and ended up in bed. Archer gulped it down by the glass. Sometimes the very sight of food so nauseated him that he literally ran from it.